Hello everybody and welcome to Gene's Reviews from a regular dude, where I do trailer reactions, I react to YouTube videos, I review YouTube channels, occasionally I'll review a movie, but really, I just do whatever the hell I want. Hello everybody. Okay, we're going to do something a little different today. I'm a big time movie fan, and I remember in the 80s, I loved the Steven Segal movies, but now not so much. And I think it's mostly because of his personality and everything. Plus, his movies aren't good anymore. I remember Above the Law, Hard to Kill, Marked for Death, Out for Justice. There was 4 that were good, and I really liked Marked for Death. That was one of my favorite Steven Seagal movies. But ever since then, I think Out for Justice is when he started to kind of go down a little bit. But this video here is some Steven Seagal stories and encounters from different people that have had to act with him and stuff like that, because he's had a big history of actually hitting people on set, the stuntmen and stuff like that. And he had really, really bad experience for the people on Saturday Night Live when he hosted that. So let's check this out.
Said that he's never seen anyone aside from Steven Seagal actually really hit stuntmen on set.
He would
actually hit the stuntman.
Broke the guy's face, split his face open from cheekbone to jawbone.
Wow.
I mean, he hurt people for real. And Michael was not about that life.
Well, no, he's
an ultimate
who?
professional.
Yeah.
Where Seagal put a stuntman's face literally through the glass for real. I had to shoot the scene with him as his partner. I had to constantly remind him. He would always, oh, you effing thespian, it's the thespian. Throw a punch, like inch from my nose, like always throwing a punch. Like, dude, that's every day. He was throwing a punch at me to the point where I would remind him, like, I'm supposed to like you.
Yeah.
Steven Seagal hits the shit out of people.
Oh, that's the Michael
That's a
Jai
unique
White.
situation.
Okay, so you did how many Steven Seagal movies?
Like 3?
In those films you did with Steven Seagal, he was actually hitting the stuntmen like for
hell
real?
yeah. He's known for that.
He's known for that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So
he's
how
known
would the
for that.
stuntmen react after getting punched by Steven Seagal?
Ouch. They try to, they try to deal with it because they're stuntmen. And so there's a certain ethic where you try to grin and bear it. But me,
See, that kind of bothers me, though, because as a martial artist, you're supposed to have humility, and you're not supposed to be like that. That's the total opposite way that a real martial artist is supposed to act. And he supposedly had his own dojo in Japan, teaching Aikido and all that. He's just, sounds like a real jerk.
I think that's some chicken shit stuff.
Yeah.
Hit anybody, right? Including me. I would never do that to somebody. He's not a,
Because he's a real martial artist.
Person to work with. This is true. So, me taking pride in hurting Seagal, I find no gratification in that. That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. And I got to look at myself in the mirror. So Steven Seagal hits the shit out of people.
He has a lot better
Some
attitude.
people go along with it. Some people don't. But he cracks people.
Okay, and they all took it pretty much. No one ever got angry. No
Yeah,
one was
people
like,
got angry. Hell
okay,
yeah.
so you saw someone get angry at Steven
Hell
Seagal.
yeah. A lot of times.
Did anyone ever punch him back?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's going to happen someday.
Okay. Okay, so you did a fight scene with him. Did he?
Yeah.
Did he punch you for real?
No.
So he knew who to punch.
Well, I mean,
He's a bully, it sounds like.
Michael said Steven Seagal knew not to hit me in fight scenes.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. There would be no more Steven Seagal.
Right.
But I was there. I'm in the car with this man in his leather pants. We were hanging out, and we would have the conversation how it's going to go down. And I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not.
That's the opposite of
You will
Aikido,
not.
too.
Like I
It's
tell
supposed to
my
be for
kids in high
defense
school,
only.
You will not.
Right.
I was the UN between kept Michael Jai White from hurting Steven Seagal. So, Steven Seagal, you're welcome.
I think Steven Seagal has such a good presence. and he should
He
lose
used
some
to.
weight, which is not that difficult. And I think he's got lots of charisma, even though sometimes he speaks bad about me. It's all bullshit. I think he's a nice guy.
I would love to see a Steven Segal in part 3. He should lose some weight. He can be a little more fast.
He's put on the pounds.
I met the guy a few times. He's a nice guy. Doesn't like me much.
Anderson Silva is a very nice person. I remember being on set and on Deadly Ground trying to get Steven Seagal to throw a front kick. And Steven Seagal could not teach Anderson a front kick that he can't do himself.
Right.
I don't want to take anything against Steven Seagal. He is what he is. He is a movie star. He is a bigger than life type of celebrity.
He
But
was.
knows what
He's
doing.
not anymore. I think he's washed
knows-
up.
Is it your dream to work with Steven Seagal? Is that on your bucket list?
I know who dyed his hair. Stevie Wonder.
That's all now.
That's good.
This journalist suddenly said, "Hey, what do you think of Steven Seagal saying you don't know how to punch?" I was like, "What?"
Yeah, because you're a boxer.
Well, I boxed as a kid, but I know how to punch. You know?
Right.
I was like,
Did he really say that about you?
apparently he did.
Truthfully, I don't know. I don't know Steven. I've only met him once. See, most of Seagal's movies, his action is done close up. You really can't see.
Yes,
everything.
it is. It's real
quick cuts.
Yeah.
So you don't get a chance to really see exactly what he's doing.
Really rotten kind of guy image that he projects is
Carries over.
largely acting, is it, or not?
Carries over in his whole life.
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, that's too bad.
For a martial
Because
artist,
I suspected that.
Yeah, for a martial artist, it kind of surprises me too.
Yeah, really.
Especially when there's people like Chuck Norris walking around. I can't put him in the same category. Chuck Norris is a real martial artist. That person, he's an exemplary martial artist, and he and Fumio Demura and people of that ilk.
Right. Oh, God. They must hate me. I mean, what are we going to do?
Don't worry, you'll be fine.
Saturday Night Live.
Well, they probably think I'm the biggest jerk who's ever been on the show.
No, that would be Steven Seagal.
Yeah, he had
said,
problems on there.
I forgot to ask you about Steven Seagal and when you pitched him a sketch that you had written, and you said, Howard, we'll save that for the next time.
Well, it was Hans and Franz.
Right.
And we were talking to him about I was helping with Hans and Franz that week. Yeah, I didn't usually help with that piece, but I love those guys. And Seagal read it, and he said, if I do this sketch, if I do it. And they want to fight him.
I could see
Hey,
that.
we'll take you on. He goes, if I do it, I have to beat them up. Like he has to. It's like a John Wayne thing, right? Like
Right.
like
He's
it's
gotta
the
win.
most ludicrous scenario.
And he's
Don't
not
worry,
really that
no one
big
will
either
think
of a
that they
movie
actually-
star, I
no
mean.
one's thinking anyone beat anyone up.
He's not a
here.
good actor.
But
He's one
that
note.
was his attitude the whole week. Was he kept saying, "I've never seen your show. I don't know what you do here." Like, really? You've never seen Saturday Night Live? Where do you live?
I just brought that up because I wanted a Steven Seagal story.
I got a great Steven Seagal story. Do you want to hear it real quick?
I want to hear Steven Seagal story.
Okay, Steven Seagal, a great man. We were shooting on a houseboat. The director said, well, let's practice. Let's rehearse this scene one time. It's kind of complicated. And Steven Seagal's like, I don't rehearse, man. Let's just shoot it. Let's shoot this. Oh, he goes, okay, so I will tell you one thing. And he starts to get up. He goes, I'm going to kick all your asses. And he starts walking. It's a door, but it's not the right door. It's the door that goes into the ocean. I'm going to say, oh, my gosh, you're going to the wrong door. But then I know what's happening, so I'm like, holy shit. And he takes a step, and he drops into the ocean.
Yeah, I wouldn't say anything either.
And you know, at the time, he
has
colored
it
in his hair.
coming.
He had about that much black, like magic marker kind of thing. He's a great guy, by the way. He wouldn't wear a hairpiece, so he just painted in. And if you watch the movie up close, you could go, oh, my God, there's like an inch of...
I get the feeling every time he says what a great guy he is, he's not really meaning it. What do you think? In fact, I'm pretty sure of it. Yeah, Steven Seagal's completely lost his mind.
Black stuff, and he's like kind of fat for a muscle guy. He's got very big wrists, so I looked down and I was like, holy buddy. And so he comes up, he's sort of embarrassed because and the black stuff is ready up. Great.
That's
That's
amazing.
a great moment. But I
amazing.
remember going, I should tell him. And I look at the director and he's like, and then he walks and then I love Steven Seagal. He's a good dude.
We believe you.
Yeah, he's awesome. And he's very sensitive like this.
He just doesn't want
He's
him to
gonna hear
beat him
about it.
up.
He's going to say, why did you? And I'm going to be like, oh my God, it's an amazing story, buddy.
Last
Legend building.
But a number of years ago, with a guy who's become very successful, Steven Segal.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we're going to do a film called Never Say Never Again, and there was a possibility I was going to do Aikido and what have you, and I got a hold of Steven, and we had this training in the building where I had an apartment, and he was really very, very good and everything. And then I got a little cocky because I thought I knew what I was doing, because, you know, the principle is it's defense, so it's a pyramid, and I got a bit of flash, and I did that, and he broke my wrist.
Wow.
And
What did Steven Segal do to you?
We were in rehearsals for executive.
This one's
decision.
infamous.
He comes in, I'm in command. What I say is law. Anybody doesn't agree? And I was like, I started cracking up because he sounded like a retard. And he came up and he taekwondo'd my ass against the brick wall. He went, he's 6'5" and caught me off guard, knocked all the air at me. I was like, why? What I really want to say is how big and fat he is, how he runs like a girl.
Guys, I mean, let me tell you a little bit about Steven Segal. So we did an interview at the beautiful
He's a bully.
Phoenician Resort in Scottsdale,
That's all he
Arizona.
is.
It's a 45-degree day, piping hot, and we're in the penthouse suite. And Segal rocks up to the interview, and he's 2 hours late, mind you. And he gets out of his car, and he's like, I'm so sorry I'm late. I had some special international diplomacy phone calls to make, but I can't tell you about it. It's top secret business, but I'm sorry I'm late. It's like, okay, Steven. And he gets out of this car that's a black SUV that looks like something Elon Musk designed, because this SUV, MK, we were told, had bulletproof windows and a bulletproof frame, but the frame could also, according to Segal, sustain an RPG attack, a rocket-propelled grenade attack. Wow. Okay? And in the case of a chemical attack or a gas nerve attack against Steven, it could be hermetically sealed. So Steven essentially will be sealed and protected in the car while the gas and chemicals dissipated outside.
Oh, he's so important.
Apparently
He's such a big shot.
Instigate a chemical attack against Steven Segal.
For it. What happened with the Hans and Franz sketch?
When he came in, we wrote it, we did it at read-through, and all of it was them making fun of Steven. Like,
Right.
Arnold is stronger than you. He could flick you with your little baby finger, and you would fly across the room and land in your own baby poop. You know, it's all this stuff.
Yeah.
Your little spindly arms, and so your buttocks are like marshmallows. You're lucky we don't have a campfire here.
He probably
And
don't
he's
like
just
that.
reading his lines and not really reacting to it.
Right.
Then it gets on the show. It's picked. Then on Thursday, we're just on the soundstage rehearsing it. And we go through it with the cue cards. He reads his lines. Very
gonna
serious.
change
Then he
it.
just walks off. He's like 50 feet away in the 8H, the studio. No one's around. I go, we got to start again. Kevin, I'll go see what's going on. So I went up to him. I said, Steven, are you okay? And he just didn't look at me. He's looking straight forward. He goes, quote, and this is a quote. I just wish Arnold was here so I could kick his fucking ass.
So what does that mean? He didn't understand the sketch?
Well, I told him, I said, they're idiots.
Right.
Doesn't mean you're weaker than Arnold. These guys just worship Arnold. So we rewrote it. I don't know if he ever saw it. Maybe.
You mean you couldn't explain to him that in the sketch you guys love Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Yeah.
so he couldn't make fun of himself.
So we did the sketch.
He's so
different
pompous,
so that
so
he
arrogant.
There's only one person stronger than Arnold, and that's Steven Segal.
But it doesn't work.
I know. Well, 6 months later.
His assistant was not used to somebody filming him eating, because she said nobody had ever filmed him eating before. So I was like, oh, should I maybe turn off the camera? Did I do something wrong? But he was like, no, keep rolling. He was fine with it.
Silva thinks Steven Seagal is, I want to put this in a respectful way. Anderson Silva has a wonderful sense of humor. And Anderson Silva is very playful. And he thought it would be hilarious if people believed that he was learning all of his martial arts from Steven Seagal.
Oh, okay.
He also loves Steven Seagal movies, legitimately. So treated him with a great deal of respect.
Right.
He also recognizes that Steven Seagal actually is a master of Aikido. He really
Right.
does understand Aikido and was one of the very first Westerners that was teaching in Japan. Speaks fluent Japanese.
It's just his attitude, though. Yeah, he just has such a bad attitude about it all. I think he is a master of Aikido. There's just no doubt in that. But he's lost his mind. I think it's a mental illness. I honestly do. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now it's time for a joke. It's time for a joke to brighten your day. The last time I flew on a plane, they showed a Steven Seagal movie. Half the audience walked out. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hashtag Mean Gene, all that fun stuff. And if you like this video, tell all your friends, leave a comment down below. And if you didn't like it, then just shut up. And I will see you next time.